Tagwan brushed dust from his scaled hands as he studied the strange markings on the tunnel wall. The light from his helmet cast long shadows across the ancient structure, buried 3 kilometers beneath the surface of Risen 4. After 5 years searching for evidence of the Ancient Ones, his funding was nearly depleted. This expedition was his last chance. "Find anything interesting?" Sunmei called from further down the passage. Her voice echoed against the metallic walls that didn't match any known civilization's architecture. "Nothing conclusive yet," Taiwan replied, adjusting the sensitivity on his scanner. The device beeped softly as it analyzed the composition of the walls. "These materials aren't in our database. They predate all known civilizations." Sunmai approached, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence, a sign of excitement among the Risen people. "The Council insists the Ancient Ones are just myths, but this structure is real. It had to be built by someone." The tunnel opened into a large chamber with a ceiling that stretched up at least 30 meters. Unlike the rough-hewn passages they had navigated, this room featured smooth walls covered in geometric patterns that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. "Look at the precision," Tadwan whispered. "No tool marks whatsoever. It's as if the entire chamber was formed as a single piece." Sun Mi moved toward the center of the room where a raised platform stood. On it rested a pyramid-shaped object approximately 20 centimeters tall. Unlike everything else they had encountered, the pyramid wasn't covered in dust. "Careful," Taiwan warned as Sunmai reached for it. We don't know if 3 days had passed since Taiwan and Sunmai discovered the ancient pyramid artifact. Now they stood on the bridge of the Distant Hope, a small research vessel they had convinced Jeho to pilot into uncharted space. The ship wasn't impressive, patched hull plates and outdated navigation systems, but it was all they could afford after the Science Council rejected their expedition request. "We're approaching the coordinates," Jeho announced, his scaled fingers dancing across the control panel. The view screen showed empty space, a scattering of distant stars, and the faint reddish glow of a dying sun. "There's nothing here," grumbled Du Yun, the xenobiologist who had joined their makeshift crew. Her reputation had been ruined after publishing theories about common ancestry among the 12 known species. "Your ancient artifact led us to nowhere." Taewon held the pyramid gently. It had been pulsing with increasing frequency as they neared the coordinates, its soft blue light illuminating his face. "Trust me, something is here." "Energy signature detected," Hejin called from the engineering console. The quiet engineer rarely spoke, but her expertise with unconventional technology had proven invaluable. "It's massive but cloaked somehow." As if responding to her words, the pyramid in Tadawan's hand suddenly grew hot. He almost dropped it as it projected a beam of light toward the view screen. The emptiness of space before them shimmered, like heat waves rising from desert sand. "What's happening?" Sun Li moved closer to the view screen. The shimmer intensified, and gradually a structure appeared where moments before there had been nothing. It was enormous, a station composed of interconnected rings rotating slowly around a central hub. Its architecture defied conventional engineering principles, portions of it seeming to exist in dimensions beyond normal space. "The Ancient Ones built this," Taiwan whispered, eyes wide with wonder. A beam of light from the 5 explorers stood in a large circular chamber at the heart of the ancient station. Walls that seemed made of flowing metal surrounded them, occasionally shifting as if alive. The floor beneath their feet glowed with soft blue light that followed their movements. They had docked their ship after receiving an automated guidance signal, and the station's atmosphere had adjusted to their biological needs without any input. "This technology is beyond anything in the archives," Hajin whispered, her scanner unable to identify the materials around them. "If the Council knew what was here, they would claim it for themselves and erase our names from the discovery." Jeho replied bitterly. His distrust of authority had only deepened since losing his pilot's license for questioning flight restrictions near other ancient ruins. Taewon placed the pyramid artifact on a raised platform in the center of the room. It fit perfectly into an indentation, as if returning home. The moment it connected, the entire chamber hummed with energy. The walls rippled, and a figure materialized before them. It appeared as a tall bipedal being with 2 arms, no scales, and strange flat facial features. It wore simple clothing that seemed to flow like liquid. Though clearly a projection, Taiwan stepped into the memory chamber with trembling hands. The circular room was ringed with curved panels that Custodian had explained would connect directly to his mind. The ancient human technology seemed both primitive and impossibly advanced compared to what his people had developed. "Are you certain about this?" Sun Mei asked, concern evident in all 4 of her eyes. "Downloading human memories could change you forever." "We need to understand what we're facing," Taiwan replied. "If the void truly is awakening again, the knowledge of those who fought it before is our only hope." Custodian's holographic form nodded approvingly. "The process will not erase who you are, descendant. It will add to you." The memories of our final days were preserved specifically for this moment. Had-Jin monitored the equipment readings with fascination. "The neural interface appears compatible with our biology. The humans must have designed it knowing their descendants would evolve differently." "Begin the process," Taiwan said, lying back on the memory cradle. The panels around him glowed with increasing intensity. Threads of light extended toward his head, gently connecting to his temples. Taiwan gasped as the first memories flooded his consciousness. He was no longer himself. He was walking through a human city of impossible towers and flying vehicles. Children played in parks beneath artificial weather systems. The memory shifted. He was in a laboratory where humans were the combined fleet of the 12 species faced the approaching darkness at the edge of the Talus system. Over 300 ships formed a defensive line, each vessel now equipped with modified human technology. The darkness was not simply an absence of light. It was something that actively consumed light, matter, and consciousness itself. Tae-1 stood on the command deck of the Council flagship, his scaled skin now faintly glowing with the activated human genetic markers. Admiral Q1, initially skeptical, now deferred to him on matters concerning the void. "All ships report ready," Sun Mai announced from the communication station. Like Taiwan, she had undergone the remembrance protocol, her mind now containing fragments of human knowledge. "The void consumes nearly half a light-year of space each day," Du Yun reported from the science station. "At this rate, it will reach populated systems within a week." Tae-1 closed his eyes, accessing the human memories that had become part of him. He could feel the echo of their final moments, their determination to ensure their legacy would survive even as they faced extinction. "The void isn't just a natural phenomenon," he explained to the assembled commanders. "It's conscious, intelligent. It feeds on minds. The more complex the consciousness it absorbs, the stronger it becomes. Then fighting it directly is impossible," Admiral Q1 concluded. "Every ship we lose only makes it stronger." "Not impossible," Taiwan corrected. "Difficult." The humans discovered that while the void feeds on individual minds, it cannot process a unified consciousness. It's like trying to consume a star, too powerful to absorb all at once. Had-Jin entered the command deck, her expression grim. "The final modifications to the neural transmitters are complete. All participating ships can now link their crews into a single consciousness network." "And the non-participating ships?" asked Jai-Ho, who had refused the remembrance protocol, fearing loss of his identity. "They will maintain defensive positions," Taiwan assured him. "Not everyone needs to join the link, but we need enough minds to create a force the void cannot simply consume." As the void approached, its leading edge swallowing stars and planets, Taiwan activated the consciousness network. Across the fleet, over 10,000 individuals who had accepted the protocol felt their minds connecting. It wasn't a loss of self, but rather an expansion. Each person became aware of the others while retaining their own identity. Tae-1 felt Sun Mi's presence in the network, her courage strengthening his own. He felt the Admiral's strategic mind linking with the tactical officers, doctors, engineers, soldiers, all joined together, their combined knowledge and experiences forming something greater than any single mind could achieve. And beneath it all, the dormant human memories awakened fully. 17 million years of human history, science, art, and determination flooded through the network. The descendants of humanity remembered what they had once been. The void encountered this unified consciousness and recoiled. Where it had expected to find thousands of individual minds to consume, it instead faced a single entity with the strength of many. The network pushed back, driving the void away from inhabited systems. For 3 days and nights, the battle of wills continued. The void probed for weaknesses while the unified consciousness held firm. Some ships were lost at the edges of the formation, but the network adapted, learning from each encounter. On the 4th day, Tadwan discovered the final component of the remembrance protocol hidden within the human memories. Not just remembrance, but rebirth. The original humans had encoded their entire collective consciousness into the genetic material of their descendants, dormant until needed. We are not just remembering the humans, Tadwan announced to the network. We are becoming them, while still remaining ourselves. With this revelation, the unified consciousness expanded further. Across the galaxy, others with the dormant genetic markers felt the call and joined the network voluntarily. The void, sensing defeat, attempted to retreat. Now, Tadwan commanded. The network focused its entire will on containing the void. Using technologies long forgotten and mental disciplines preserved in their genetic memory, they created a prison of pure consciousness around the entity. The void thrashed against its constraints but found no weakness. In the aftermath, the 12 species, now aware of their shared human heritage, began a new age of cooperation. The ancient stations activated across the galaxy, offering knowledge and technology that had been preserved for this moment. Tae-1 stood before the Council of 12, his discovery now validated before all. We are not just descendants of the Ancient Ones, he told them. We are their legacy, their hope, their future. Though physically different, we carry their essence. And the void? Asked the council leader. Contained, but not destroyed, Tae-1 replied. The prison of consciousness requires maintenance, a united effort. The 12 species, once separated by physical differences and cultural barriers, found new purpose in their shared inheritance. The humans, the ancient ones, were gone, but through their children, they lived on.